Just get it out from the pile of valuables.
I'm
giving that pile the benefit of the doubt on whether or not there's actually valuables in it.
I can see some.
Oh, good.
I'm not going to show you where they are, though. I don't trust you.
Okay. Yeah, keep your treasure to yourself here.
Treasure.
Yeah.
Treasure, yes. My perfect treasure. Like a goddamn pirate over here.
I just got another tattoo at a walk-in shop, and there was a guy there who I thought was an artist because he was just like milling about the whole time. And I was there for hours. And then I realized that nope, he was just getting 6 or 7 tattoos that day. But in the meantime, because I had to wait a minute for them to be free, I walked outside, and he was out there, and he just lit up and smoked an entire thick joint to himself.
Oh, well.
And then he went right back in and got more tattoos on his chest.
Well, what else are you going to do when you're filling up your chest with daily doodles, you know?
Daily doodles. And he'll fill it up on the inside and out.
It's just that was like the guy's like practice sheet. He's like, come in today, I'm going to draw a circus clown.
Yeah, me.
Oh, great, circus clown.
Where would you like it today?
Yeah. I was smoking weed in the park.
Mm-hmm. That's not a great place to do that anymore.
I know. I looked over, and then there was like a lady like putting a crack pipe together.
Aww.
She was sprinkling her whatever into her crack pipe.
Well, probably crack.
Yeah. I got the hell out of there before she like looked over and tried to fist bump me or something.
Mondays, right?
Yeah. You and I.
Yeah, that's what you will align yourself with right there.
So we didn't do a podcast. We didn't do one. We didn't do one last week.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was thousands of kilometers east of here,
and I was maybe half that distance in a northeasterly direction of here as well. We both got away.
Mm-hmm. Far from microphones.
Mm-hmm. You know, as is tradition, every once a September morning we. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to.
Once a wet September morn.
Yeah, we must away.
Master Frodo.
Yeah, excuses we didn't have. We just didn't do it. We just didn't.
Well, I can't very well. What am I? I was on an airplane. I don't have a laptop. Let me just bring my entire desktop computer and record remotely.
You should know better.
Apparently. Yep, I dropped the ball. Whoops.
I was in Toronto. I saw a concert and a homeless man's penis.
I was in Newfoundland trying to see whales and failing. Sounds like you had a better trip than me.
I saw a whale. It was a little baby whale.
Was it a person?
It was uncut.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
A sperm whale, if you will.
Yes, I saw Moby Little Dick. And it was... I don't know why it was out in the middle of the street.
Was it white?
Oh, yeah.
So it was a white whale.
In spots it was, anyway. In all the wrong spots.
Call me Ishmael. That's the start of the book, Moby Dick. It's
just
the starting.
Well, here we are.
And then he goes on to talk about for like 2 paragraphs that he needs to go onto a boat and out of the ocean every time he thinks about killing himself, which is like 3 times a month.
That's not a really good place to be when you're thinking about that, because like you could just
walk in any direction and die slowly.
Yeah, and then like nobody's gonna know. You gotta tell people where you're going.
Yeah, if it's out into the ocean, that place is big.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's huge. There needs to be more horror movies that are about that, because personally, ew.
There are a lot, and most of them are bad.
I know. That's why there needs to be more, so there could be a good one or two.
Yeah,
because like unless you want a horror movie about a storm, or
of a perfect nature.
Yeah, like and then even then, like that's not even a horror movie. That's just a storm.
It's just a story about fishermen dying in the water.
Yeah, I got to go see that in theaters, and I got to tell you, it was not a movie for children.
I really liked that movie a lot.
I didn't like it. No, because
I mean, if you were a child at the time,
yeah,
there's a lot of things to not understand when you're young in that movie.
Well,
John C. Reilly's relationship with his wife and kid.
I didn't even know he was in that movie.
He is.
Is he funny?
He's a shitty dad because he likes to go out into the water a lot.
And he was also, he's funny.
He makes no mention of having like maneuvering the beds around underneath in the cabin so that he has much more space for activities. That doesn't come up ever.
No, nothing's ever for his health.
No.
You don't drink more wine.
Probably plenty of wine out on the boat.
Oh, boy.
They're fishermen.
When you drink a lot of wine, you get your friends to carry you home and feed you sandwiches. It's for your health.
I don't know if expanding starches in your body when you're wine drunk.
I don't see the problem.
Your throat might later.
No. There's the sandwiches. The sandwiches are there to help. Well, anyway, welcome to Grindhouse Movie Club. Thanks to Andrew for doing the theme song.
Andrew.
Go to darkroastcult.com. Check it out. There's t-shirts there. I bet you right now if you go look.
That would be sick if there's t-shirts there.
Yeah, there might be t-shirts there if you go look. Darkroastcult.com. Go look. Just go look. I dare you.
No balls.
None. Not a single ball to be had. So that's the plug. We got that in.
Got that right out of the way.
Yep, we're done there. We got that in. We thanked Andrew. Mm-hmm. His link will be in the description, I hope.
Hopefully it works. Actually links to his fucking profile.
SoundCloud willing.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I feel like we've gone down the checklist of everything. It's been a while since we've done one of these. I just, want to make sure we're getting it correct.
Yeah, we can't fuck this up. This is our great comeback.
Yeah.
It's like Mike Tyson after he gets that face tattoo. I can't remember if he won or lost that fight. It doesn't matter. I don't think he's lost one. No? I swear he did. I swear he did at least one and then he just stopped.
Maybe.
I don't know. I watched the documentary on Netflix and then promptly forgot all of its contents.
Good old Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Good old Michael Tyson.
Now he talks to Norm Macdonald as a bird. I don't know what else he does lately.
He doesn't talk to Norm Macdonald about much anymore. I don't think they're talking
maybe
about
at his tombstone.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, so what movie did we do this week?
Well, I just made a death joke and we watched Dead Snow.
How appropriate.
Yeah.
This movie is Norwegian.
Yeah, it sure is.
Thank God for subtitles.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, we would have been fucked.
Yeah, let me describe to you my fucking morning.
Yep. Oh yeah, please.
All right. So I woke up nice and early. I texted you. It's like 7:30. And I was like, "Hey, is the movie ready? Can I watch it?"
Yeah.
And then you had acquired the movie and you had supplied me the film.
I had made it available to you. Mm-hmm, barely before you texted me about it.
And that's perfect because I hadn't even looked. I was just like, I woke up and I'm like, if the movie's not ready, I'm going back to bed. Movie was up, so I was like, okay, cool. So I got up, I put the movie on, and got about 5 minutes in, and I was like, you know what? I actually want a coffee. I ran to Starbucks, got about a block from my house.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was on TikTok. I was listening to this kid talk about the fourth dimension. I was
that's
and he was describing it in a very very tangible way. A way I could I was like, okay, this makes sense.
You got into it.
And then I don't know if I bumped my coffee off of like a fence or if I just went and dropped it. But yeah, I dropped it just like a block away from my house.
You just had acute cerebral palsy for 1 second.
So then I turned around. I had to go get another one. Came back. Put the coffee down. Okay. Went to the washroom.
Now that was your second mistake. Your first mistake was dropping your original coffee.
Yeah. So my other mistake was going to the. Just don't you look at me like that.
She knows that you're talking about it. That's why.
Yeah. So I'm sitting on the toilet as you do, and I hear the sound of a cat distinctly jumping up on my desk and having some coffee.
Oh, jeez.
I come out. She's this one right here. You can't see I'm pointing at her.
Yeah.
Face down.
Yeah.
Right.
Ass up. Coffee.
Yeah.
That's the way I like to drink coffee.
Yeah. Essentially. That's if I could drink it every day with my ass up. You know what? No, I'm not even. I don't think that'd be a great position. That's just going to loosen things that don't need to be loosened.
I'm already consuming a loosener. Anyway, I don't need any help with that.
So I deal with that whole thing. And then I sit down to watch more of this movie. And it's in Norwegian.
Yep, it sure is.
So I had to go find the subtitle file. That was a whole thing. I almost lost my mind right there.
The folder that's clearly indicated by the word subs right in it.
I don't know if you know anything about Google Drives, but they don't put they hide that folder up towards the top so it looks like a different kind of button.
There is a way to to go around that.
This
You actually
is-
have to go into like my files on the side
This
as opposed to
is-
just looking at the front page, because those are just what's recommended to you based on what's on the drive.
This is news to me.
Yeah,
News
I
to
learned
me.
that shit a week ago myself.
Either way, I almost lost my mind. I was like, Jay, did you try and fuck me with some film?
I wouldn't leave you with the Norwegian. First of all, it was your choice, so you would have fucked yourself.
Well, look, last time I watched this, I remember it distinctly being in English. So there is dubbed versions of this.
Yeah, I refuse to watch any of them, especially for this podcast, because if I'm going to write about the dialogue, I'm going to want, on the small chance that somebody in Norway has enough electricity to download a podcast, I want them to at least know that I'm not fucking it up. Their original dialogue in the movie.
All right. You know what? That's fair. But here's the cost.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. when I make my notes, I'm like, well, I don't remember this guy's name because what they said was not an English word.
Oh, I got you beat.
So here's so the gobbledygorp.
Yeah.
So we got girl with dreads.
Yep.
We got glasses.
Mm-hmm.
We got an athletic haircut.
Okay.
We got Blumpkin. And then we got white coat. That's all the people I remember. And then Sarah.
Okay. I did the exact same thing in preparation for you getting confused. Because
beautiful.
a lot of these names also, they could go either way. There's a chick in this movie named Chris.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So I did the same thing.
She's Blumpkin Jr., essentially.
Blumpkin Jr. Chris's name, because of that white coat, but more so because of the hat, is Ivana Hump-a-Lot.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because she's wearing the exact same outfit as Austin Powers, too.
Yeah.
And also probably has the same accent if she were to speak English. I also wrote down dreadlocks. I also wrote down glasses. And then in parentheses, Hannah, who's dreadlocks, Hannah's BF.
Hannah's BF, who is, I believe, athletic haircut.
Martin is glasses.
Martin has glasses,
Yeah.
and then
Athletic haircut's girlfriend is the one who dies at the beginning of the movie. That they go and look for.
No, so there's another guy, Sledgehammer and regular Hammer.
Oh, okay.
I called him athletic haircut.
Athletic haircut, for me, is male pattern baldness.
Male pattern baldness. Okay. See, I figured it was a small haircut to go fast. He looked like an athlete.
And then it's so like in the movie they're doing that like road trip thing, and it's girls in one car and guys in another, and like describing each other to each other.
Yeah. They just say a bunch of names,
Yeah.
and if you don't speak Norwegian, it's very hard
where's
to.
the name in that sentence?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So and there's also snowmobile guy,
Yeah, snowmobile is who I thought you meant when you said athletic haircut.
and I'm
Blonde, mountain deaf, and fat.
fat. So fat is Blumpkin.
Yes, I figured.
He looks like if you need somebody to attribute his face to, picture if you've seen Breaking Bad, the guy who keeps Jesse Pinkman in the hole.
I don't remember that.
He's got the face of Matt Damon, but he's got the body of a
Poor man's Matt Damon.
yeah.
Okay,
There you go.
that works for me.
He's also in that Game Night movie with Charlie Day or maybe Charlie Day's not in it, but
Game night movie.
I don't know. He's the cop and he wants to be in on the game night. But
Horrible bosses? I have no idea.
it's basically horrible.
Okay.
It's got what's his face in it, the guy.
Jason Bateman.
There you go.
All right, sick.
Yeah, so that's a film.
Fat's name is Erland, which
Yes.
I made sure to remember it because he's my favorite character because he knows what movies are.
Well, here's the thing.
He knows what movies are, but his knowledge ends at about 1989, which is weird.
Well, that and like his knowledge ends at the titles to the films because he doesn't know fuck all about any of these films he's talking about.
He does talk about how most people think Evil Dead 2 is a sequel when it's actually a remake. Mm-hmm. But aside from that, he does a pretty bad Arnold Schwarzenegger impression.
Yeah.
When he goes to take a shit in the middle of the night.
Which is what you do when you have to like make it obvious where you're going. I'm gonna go if you hear me making this sound. Here's my Arnold impression. I'm gonna be taking a shit.
Yeah, just when you hear it again, pretend it's me doing the Arnold impression more.
I'll be back. You know, it's funny. I was like, oh, he does a really good Arnold impression, but like, how close is Norway to Austria? It's fairly close, right?
I would say closer than Canada is.
So they probably just have a similar accent when they try to speak English.
Yeah,
Because that's all Arnold Schwarzenegger's. He's from Austria.
Yeah, it's not an Austrian accent, for fuck's sake.
Your impression of him is shaming an entire country of people who just speak like that.
Yeah. Worse, because because their accents are fucked as it is.
Yeah, so it's just every time you do that, like, oh, I'll be back. Some guy in Austria is like, oh, come on now, what are you doing that for?
You still just did it, though.
I'm gonna terminate you!
They probably hate that guy so much for fucking them up forever.
Well, they'll never say it to his face. He'll rip them in half.
Yeah, you can't.
So we did this Dead Snow. Dead Snow, I don't remember the year. It's a year.
2009, I think.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure it's 2009.
2009. So if you've seen it, if there's another Dead Snow and it's not this one, don't watch it right now.
There is another Dead Snow.
Here we go.
However, it's a sequel to this one.
Oh, okay, that's fine. If it's got the number 2, it's not for you.
Yep, perfect. It's Dead Snow 2, Red versus Dead, which can only lead me to believe that the Nazi zombies are being fought by a very racist interpretation of Native Americans.
Maybe communists.
Maybe communists.
See, and then also with the hammer and sickle in this movie, that made me laugh a lot.
Did it?
Oh, yeah, because it was just like, why did you do that? Why did you have those? Of all the things you grabbed those 2 things and then you did that?
One guy has the right idea as far as gearing up to fight these zombies, and it's Martin with the chainsaw.
Yeah, a.k.a. he just Evil Dead it up.
Yeah, he does.
He left the other guy to do, I don't know what, sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer, which is impractical as fuck because you get one swing and you have to sit down and take a break.
Well, my move would be just circles.
Just run in circles.
Hold the end and just spin.
Like a barbarian in Diablo 2.
Yeah, exactly. I think I got the exact same move in Conan, whatever that.
Conan Exiles?
Conan Exiles. Yeah. I almost said Conan Age of Empires. There's no Conan in that game.
Those are 2 very different things. Oh. There's also an Age of Conan, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of.
So this fucking movie's made by IFC, which I want to say, if I haven't before, will say yes to literally every movie concept that's ever pitched to them.
I'll tell you what they said yes to is sewing people ass to mouth.
Yep, Human Centipede
for the purpose of eating shit.
Also Antichrist, which is Willem Dafoe and his nympho girlfriend going into the woods so that she can quit sex like it's quitting smoking. What ends up happening in that movie, and for some reason it's very critically acclaimed, but I disagree, is they just end up fucking so much that she gets pissed and bashes Willem Dafoe's dick and balls into a fine paste with a rock. Roll credits, Oscar. Sundance, number 1. You go ahead and explain that shit directly to me. Yep.
So, you're going to tell me that you're going to do that. You're going to disfigure that poor man.
Yeah, when he's trying his best.
Even more so.
Yeah. He has one thing going for him, and it's sure as shit not face.
Yeah, so the only thing he's got left is dick, and you're telling me...
You ruined it.
Also, like, so Willem Dafoe's clearly, he's got enough money, he's fine, because, like, he did that movie, he did Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Where you just see him dry hump a fucking mattress for a little bit.
Oh, I still have yet to see that movie.
Oh, boy.
Zach has recommended it unendingly, and I trust his opinion too much to not see it.
You need to see it. I got too high to watch it. And I saw that, and I was just like, come on now, Will. You were the green goddamn goblin. What the fuck is this?
This is what you do with Green Goblin money, man. This is why Elijah Wood gets to make the fucking weird ass, like, the Cooties and Maniac, and why Daniel Radcliffe gets to be Weird Al Yankovic. They just take their very popular series movie and go, ha, fuck you, Hollywood.
Well, he's done he did all of his duties there. He did everything he needed to do for 9 movies. Let him be Swiss Army Man farting his way across the ocean.
Yeah, exactly that.
Apparently he loved it.
I bet he did.
I loved it.
I will not watch it.
My girlfriend did not love it.
No, I'm in the same boat as her on this one.
She did not want to see Harry Potter farting into the ocean.
Like a
jetpack, jet ski kind of deal.
Like a speedboat that runs on methane.
Yeah, good lord.
IFC also made, or said yes to at least, Would You Rather, which is a movie that I've been deliberately avoiding doing for this podcast because it's just... you get a bunch of people into a room around a table and they have to play games until they die. You get the goddamn penguin from Gotham. He's in that movie too. I forget his name. I don't know which one, because it's not Danny DeVito. I know that.
No, from
the actual series Gotham. I didn't get far enough into it to know.
He's an emo guy.
Yeah. Also, Sasha Grey is in it.
Yeah, I mean the poster to that movie is just an eyeball with a razor blade close to it.
Yeah.
Don't watch it.
I imagine
that's all you need
exactly.
to see.
If that's something that turns your crank, then go ahead.
Yeah, or get your crank checked.
I don't think I even finished it when I tried to watch it.
That's all right. Now you don't need to.
So IFC produced this. Euphoria also produced this, which is a production company that has an animated origami bird for their logo. Mm-hmm. And it pissed my cat off for the whole thing. She was licking her fucking stomach, and then you hear the paper rustling, and she just snapped up. Like I shaked a bag of treats. Shaked? Shook.
I missed the origami bird. I was too busy just fucking trying to get right in my chair.
Trying to get right after your coffee fiasco.
Yeah.
Your coffee fiasco, if you will.
Oh, God. So this movie starts out with just a lady running through the woods.
To In the Hall of the Mountain King.
Good, because I was going to ask you what that song was.
That is like one of the clearest indicators of tone in an intro in any movie. You get The Shining with the super ominous music, and then you get In the Hall of the Mountain King, which is in Rat Race. It's in another Rowan Atkinson movie. It's in a fucking shitload of tongue-in-cheek horror movies, other ones, and
It's just good. It's good for juxtaposition.
and it's in Jackass.
It sure is.
So that's what you get.
Yeah, you get that. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but this scene was filmed in the daytime and they just made dark blue.
You'd never know because it's in Norway, where it just looks like that all the time.
Yeah.
Norway is a great place to live if you manufacture antidepressants.
It's like it never gets dark enough to be dark, but it's like it's still pretty dark. Like you can look up and see clouds in the sky. And you know what? If the moon was a little brighter, you'd be at the beach. You know? It's like, that's Norway.
It's just bleak as fuck all year round. Nor wonder. Norwegian black metal comes out of Norway. And there's a band called Mayhem, where one of their album covers is their lead singer at the time's brains all over the ground after having blown them out himself with a shotgun.
That's dedication to the photo shoot.
Oh, fuck yeah. And then another band, Varg Vikernes made, called Burzum, where he stabbed another band member to death and then went to jail. And then when he got out of jail, he but he started being very vocal about being a neo-Nazi in the woods on YouTube.
You know, when you get 6 months of night, that's
exactly.
Honestly,
yeah, it does something to your head, man.
It does.
Holy fuck.
It's like getting that full moon for 6 months.
What's that? Sun? No, it's the moon. What's the sun?
Oh, good lord. So yeah, there's a bad jump scare in this little scene.
Away.
Right in the first couple minutes there.
It's fast forwarded. That's how bad it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and as it should be, because watching somebody stand up isn't scary.
No, it's not.
Just seeing somebody amble into frame is not
I don't care how many army helmets you're wearing. I'm not scared of that.
And like the only way you could stand up that fast is like just you would hear your knees crack. So they had to speed it up, or else you would just hear knees popping.
Yeah. It would be fitting because zombie.
Yeah. Zombie, knees cracking,
yeah,
bones.
So this fucking chick falls down a hill and hits everything the hardest way humanly possible as she's falling. They make sure to illustrate that. I don't know. The sound design in this movie is one thing I wanted to point out because it's so fucking like viscerally good. Everything is from the mouth noises of people, which are worse than our mouth noises on this podcast.
I'm pretty sure like sometimes you just hear guts in people just
you just
hear the
guts.
You just hear the guts gushing around.
They're walking through snow the whole time. It just sounds like that. It's like they just had like people's feet and bodies mic'd like real closely constantly.
Hey.
Or whoever's in the booth breaking cabbages in half with their bare hands is just really good at that.
Just like water bottles, like the right amount of water, and you heave it in the air, and then you scream at it, and then somehow that's just how you make sounds that sound like stepping in snow.
Somebody hitting like a poor woman's garden with a baseball bat.
Yeah. I like that sounds more like stepping in snow than screaming at a bottle. Yeah. So yeah, she dies.
She fucking dies.
I forget how. And then
she gets zombied.
Oh,
she
good.
gets eaten by a tree stump.
Oh, perfect. And then we cut to just people talking about it being in an avalanche and how you have to spit to see if you're upside down or not.
One of the funniest jokes in the whole movie is that conversation. It's road trip time. Yeah, he's like, I was in the military, and that's how we learned to survive a fucking avalanche, is you gotta do the spit check, and that way you know which way is up, so that you don't dig yourself further into the avalanche like an asshole. And then they start talking about which members of the group are single and fuckable, at which point Roy, which is male pattern baldness, goes, what do you think the likelihood is of me getting in the rear door? And then one of the other guys goes, well, you'd have to spit first. I loved it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm in on at least the dialogue I know is going to be funny in this movie for most of it.
Oh my God. As long as you could read it fast enough.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
I was really, I was pretty upset because that whole scene, the road trip scene, for some reason, the conversation goes much more quickly than the rest of the movie. And I had to pause just to read the dialogue a couple of times. I was like, if this is what it's going to be like, I'm going to be watching the movie for 7.5 hours.
I think it took me a good two or three.
At least 2 for me.
So we learn Sarah is on her way to meet this group of people. Mm-hmm. She's dead. She's the dead girl.
She's fucking dead.
So don't get your hopes up.
Yeah.
She's not coming. Mm-hmm. She's dead.
It's your own goddamn fault for sending your girlfriend out to go skiing by herself in the Norwegian mountains. That's what happens to you.
Maybe just ski when we get there, honey.
Yeah. There's plenty of they go GT racing later. You got tons of mountain.
Oh my God. Somebody in this group of friends is named Roy.
Mm-hmm. That's male pattern baldness.
Okay, Roy is horny.
Yes.
That's what I got out of reading.
As evidenced also by the chick's impression of him, which is just a dog huffing.
Yeah. And so he is horny. Let's keep that in mind.
Yeah,
These are the things that I gleaned from the conversations. Mm-hmm. And also snowmobile. I wrote that down.
Yeah. The one character on the snowmobile this whole movie is the most selfish person in the movie because he bogarts that snowmobile.
There's so much space on the back.
There's enough room in the front for an entire machine gun.
Yep.
You got plenty of room.
Plenty of room. You could have at least had 2 people riding behind you.
They're going into the mountains. He's the only one who brings a snowmobile. And then he promptly goes, I'm going to X Games my way up this mountain. You guys just walk in the tracks all the way.
I'm sure he thought he was doing them a favor by leaving the trail, but like...
Making them walk, though. Fuck you.
Why not just bring like tubes and just tow everybody?
Yeah, I'm sure you could. They did bring 1 tube.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Pile
saying.
them all on the tube and the 2 GTs, and you can get everyone up this mountain easily. No, I want to hit some sick jumps.
Yep, and then also I don't know what else the fuck he does. He just gets there early for no reason.
Earlier, and then
he doesn't unpack anything.
No, they show up and they're like, let's unpack, and he goes, actually, you know what? No, activities. Because I didn't just walk 30 kilometers.
Mm-hmm. I'm not tired.
So fuck you.
There's nothing more intense on leg muscles. Maybe running in sand or water, but like snow?
Yeah, dude.
Walking through snow, because you have to lift your legs super fucking high.
There's a bunch of scenes where zombies are running, and you can tell the extras were just, like, that was a labor. Mm-hmm. That was a hard day for them.
Yeah. Oh, well, they probably have these just huge, thick calf muscles by now. They're like Mr. Universe for calves.
That's where they generate all their power from when they're ripping people in half later in this movie.
Oh, well, at the speed they're running, you would think. There's just all calf. All calf, no cap, bro.
No calf, no cap. Oh my God. They don't have to do leg day. They're allowed to skip leg day every week.
In the snow, every day is leg day.
Liv chucks a snowball and hits poor man dead in the nuts right before they start walking up the mountain, which, fuck you.
Yeah.
Because now I have to walk and my nuts hurt.
That's really rude.
It is.
That's rude for my nuts.
And all he wanted to do was just talk about horror movies where there was the trope that there was no cell service.
Oh, okay. So, first of all, they didn't need to be like, say, can we use our phones? No. Just the exact opposite, actually. You'll find they do not work. There hasn't been cell service for a long time up here.
Yeah, never.
We continue to go where there are no phones every year.
And let's have a conversation about how that works out for nobody all the time in movies.
Yeah, and you got fucking athletic haircut being like, so I can't make a porn call.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, hey, try 911.
The fuck does that mean?
Don't try 911.
Probably not.
That's an emergency line. You should not be fucking... And also, I bet you Norway doesn't have 911.
It's probably like 318.
It's probably just hit the buttons as much as you can.
Yeah, they have a finite number of phone numbers up there.
I had to call 911 during that when I saw that guy put his head through the window, and like people just come out and started beating the shit out of him. I called 911 and it rang for like a minute.
Yeah. And because they're flooded with calls all the time.
Oh, yeah. The lady picked up and she's like, yeah, hello? The fight on Richmond Street? Yeah, we know about it. I was like, okay.
Literally 50 calls came in before you made that one.
As long as you know.
It's the opposite of the Samaritan fallacy. I think that's what it's called. Or bystander Anyway, the idea that nobody will help somebody in distress because everybody thinks, well, somebody else has it.
Yeah.
You know?
Not me. I call 911.
Yeah. You do the good thing and it turns out you didn't need to.
Yep. Yeah, as soon as I was on the phone, a lady came out of a store with her phone. I'm like, I called 911 too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to let them know double. So yeah, this is where they have this weird conversation where he's like, you know how many movies start with a group of people walking through the woods where there's to a cabin where there's no cell service? And then somebody's like, oh yeah, Friday the 13th, that's one. Well, there wasn't no fucking cells to service.
There were no goddamn. That's a horrible example.
And then they're like Friday. They were like Evil Dead 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Again, no cells to service.
Nope. That was still the 80s where nobody had phones, especially not out in the cabin.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And then the chick whose name is Chris, so Ivana Hump a lot, names one movie, and dude gets a hard dick about her ability to name one single movie.
Oh my god, this dude is
He's just like, wow, she's fuckable, I bet.
Well, he's got the horror movie t-shirt on, of course. Yeah. Of course he gets a hard on for one horror movie from the lips of a lady.
I believe that was Brain Dead, right? That was the Brain Dead shirt?
Yeah, something like that.
Which I've seen, that's the movie where it's zombies and the guy just decimates everybody with a lawnmower. He just like lifts the blades up and has it running.
I like it.
Great, but how do you hold it without slicing your own fingers off?
So apparently, it's either that movie or hold on, because I went to the fun facts page,
which was barren. It was more barren than the mountains of Norway on like the trivia page for the IMDb for this.
So yeah, he's got the Brain Dead shirt on, and then when he dies, like his brain hits the floor.
Yes.
But then I guess there's a movie called Dead Alive where...
It's the same movie.
It's the same movie? Okay, because that's what I was like, how is this a fun fact? How is this tied into the t-shirt at all?
So my understanding is the original is Italian, and then when they transported it to the States and sold it here, they changed it. To Dead Alive from Brain Dead, I believe.
Okay, well that's fine because that makes sense. Yeah. Because he dies in a similar fashion that's somebody in that movie, which you'll learn about later, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We'll go chronologically. How about that?
If I had to walk 5K to a shack with just a table and just a bunch of random jars and preserves, I would just keep walking into the woods until I died. That's not what I want to see. This is like the most barren-ass cabin ever. They have barely a stove.
First of all, it's a terrible cabin.
It's a terrible cabin.
Terrible cabin.
Somehow they find the means to cook food in it.
Somehow they managed to sleep with these tiny board bunk bed.
Yeah.
Thin ass like plywood bunk beds that are like 2 feet from each other.
They managed to sleep like babies as well.
Like the babies who have been shook. And the eternal slumber thereafter.
I got a hard enough time sleeping in a wonderful Hotel California King. I'm going to get worse sleep there than they do in this movie.
Yeah, if I turn on my side and my shoulder brushes the bed from the guy on top and he's like, hey, stop that. Like, I'm not
interested.
I'm not getting a wink of sleep.
The inner tube gets, what's it called there? Horseshoed over fat guy's head.
Yep,
when they start doing inner tube activity, which... Now, it's not like they're doing a marathon through the winter woods, but riding on an inner tube is strenuous. Because when you eat shit, there's a lot of muscle that goes into making sure you don't break your neck.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm tired. Maybe save this for the evening. Let me unpack my shit first.
We're here for a couple days.
Yeah.
Let's maybe sit down, have a drink of water so we don't dehydrate in the snow, because that's something.
It's still possible.
But no, we have like a hot dog horseshoe snowmobile montage with some rock music.
With like death metal, and then also death metal later, And then also, like, the most boringest inner tube ride being towed, which proves that he had the ability to tow everybody up the mountain also.
Oh, he could have. He could have made trips.
But, like, there's no ramps or anything. So you're just riding on an inner tube, being dragged. It's not really all that fun.
You just kind of hope that they fishtail you out and you swing around and clip something and go flipping.
And then they have a snowball fight.
The tamest snowball fight within 2 feet of each other.
Yeah.
At wrestling.
It's snowball wrestling.
If you didn't have music to that, it would be a very awkward scene.
Dude. Also, what age were you the last time a snowball fight was fun?
There's never been fun. It's always been a pain in my ass.
It's a pain at you. You just,
I've never wanted to be.
And then, if you have friends who are dicks, you get face washed and it stops being fun at that point.
Yeah, as soon as snow gets in behind my hood like in my neck, I'm done. We're over.
All right, great fight. I'm going to bed now.
Yep. So yeah, that happens, and then they're playing Twister because it's
the ultimate aphrodisiac. Twister.
Adult fun.
Left hand pussy lips.
Get your hand out of there.
Right foot mouth, please.
I didn't catch the dialogue, but I think it's from one point they're like, why are we playing this? And they're like, oh, because movies say it's fun.
The guy goes, this is the most boringest game, and then immediately gets a face full of a young lady's backside.
Yeah, as if to say, how boring is Twister now?
Yeah.
And then you go,
still boring, huh?
You better not fart. This game is not, it's like it's okay until you fart.
Twister should just be called that.
Twister should be played with like a can of beans first. Everybody has just beans and broccoli for the whole afternoon.
It's Twister hard mode.
Yeah.
Martin and his girlfriend are on the couch, and Martin these are all medical students. This is important to note.
Oh, they boast about being medical students.
Yeah.
Oh, they can't not, but they tell everybody they meet.
So Martin's way of flexing the fact that he's a medical student is to demonstrate an anesthetic method from the Middle Ages. Back when they used to hammer spikes into people's skulls to get the demons out?
Oh yeah, back when leeches were just like, you got too much blood in your body. We gotta suck.
That's a common problem in the Middle Ages. Too much blooditis. We're just gonna put leeches on just anywhere. And that'll work.
Clean leeches? Nah.
Just leeches.
Just dirty creek leeches.
I found these outside.
Was the water clear? No.
Water. Try mud. And so yeah, his idea of like a fun time is to demonstrate this.
Is that what that was about?
Yeah.
Because again, they were speaking Norwegian, and I was trying to write, and then I looked up. And he's all of a sudden just like smothering his friend as a joke.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, you should have some self-awareness. If you're the friend who does that kind of shit, like you're a bad friend and people don't invite you around.
Yeah.
And you only got invited because it would have been weird to not invite you later.
So his thank you for that is to pin his girlfriend down in front of everyone and try and pillow her until she falls asleep.
And you know what? Like,
nobody really does anything either.
No, sure, like, pretend to do it for a second.
Yeah, don't do it while she's screaming at you to stop from under a pillow.
Yeah, after that second's over, it's no longer a joke and everybody's having a bad time.
Yeah. Twister got ruined by an attempted murder first night at the cabin.
Everybody had to turn and look. Now you're the problem boyfriend.
And then he's got the nuts to go, what?
Yeah, we don't bring you around because you drink too much, that's what. And when you drink too much, you do this kind of shit, glasses.
You try to kill your girlfriend in front of us.
Yeah, how dare you try and kill Dreadlocks, glasses?
Holy
just
shit.
For those who you're following at home and you need to know which character is which.
Yeah, it's way easier to just call them those.
Yeah.
Right after that, the only one who blonde chick, apparently she gets so upset that she has to piss immediately. So she goes right out to the shit shack.
Hey, it's really cool. They didn't show them like using that toilet earlier in the day, but I assume that they went out there and they checked it out during the day to see if there were snakes and spiders and shit like that. Because like fuck, anybody's gonna dangle like the entrance and exit to their body over a void pit. And
there's in episodes of the Dudesons, you get to see exactly what a northern, it's not European, but anyway, a Finnish, Swedish, or Norwegian outhouse looks like. And it's just a hole out into the ground on the backside of it. And somebody's got to deal with that at some point, or else the raccoons will.
Well, I gotta tell you what, I'd rather the raccoons.
I would rather have a bathroom indoors.
You know what?
In literally everywhere I go, keep the bathroom indoors.
I'm with you. Like,
except camping, they're in a house.
This happens at night.
Yeah.
And like, if I have to poop at night, guess what? I'm pooping in the house, and I will throw it out in the morning.
Yeah, just get a metal bucket. I'm sure there's plenty.
You booked us a place with a toilet outside. I'm shitting inside.
It's your own damn fault for doing this to me.
Yeah, and had somebody actually checked the toilet, well, they would have been alarmed, and this whole thing wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
If they would have checked the toilet in the daytime,
if they would have checked the toilet at any time
to see
this movie,
what was in that goddamn toilet, there would have been no movie because they would have been like, we're not staying here.
No, that's a bad thing in there.
Yeah, this is bad toilet stuff.
My fucking God.
And then, so she's sitting there going to the toilet, and I don't know, she sees like somebody or something.
She hears a rustling and pokes her head out. She says hello to the rustling thing. Okay, here's my issue for a lot of the encounters with what's in the woods in this movie. Chances are, so she sees that and she goes back in and she goes, I saw someone out there because there's movement in the tree line.
She saw something through the many cracks in the wall.
Yeah, but she says someone. Don't jump to that conclusion when you're in northern Norway. There are more dangerous things out there than people, and all of them are all of the animals in Norway.
They're likely big feet.
Have you ever seen a gray wolf?
I've never, but that's because I'm still alive.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like when you see one, unless it's in a cage, you're probably not going to do well.
Every animal that occurs naturally in the woods in Norway can fit your head in their mouth and have room for another head.
This is why you should never go out into the woods unless you're Liam Neeson. That guy can handle any wolf.
He barely handles those wolves, all right?
Oh, wait, we don't even see the end of the movie, so...
He did. Oh, no?
No, like it just cuts when the wolf runs up to him and he's got the bottles.
You didn't stay till after the credits.
Oh, shit.
Where he's just sitting on a pile of wolves with his hands cut up.
Shit.
Now, stupid, because it was shards of bottles in his hands that he was using, so you're going to lose your hands, and it's your own fault.
But you got to punch those wolves with something. You can't just punch wolves bare knuckle. They're just going to bounce off. You got to have those bottles that are always plastic.
I'm saying bring a grappling hook.
Okay.
And swing from tree to tree like Spider-Man where they can't get to you.
You know what? If you're going to be in the gray situation, which is on an airplane crashed in the middle of like the Arctic, have a samurai sword.
Also, Liam Neeson went out there to kill himself. Should have just done it.
Is that what he went out there to do?
Yeah. When they land before the plane crashes, they land in like this shanty area, and somebody walks out on him with a gun in his mouth.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what?
The whole point being is that he like finds some kind of internal redemption throughout the movie, enough to save his own life. But probably should have just pulled the trigger in that.
For real, like this, as soon as like you realize, oh, this plane's going down. Well,
I was gonna anyway. Yeah.
And then he puts his little gun in his mouth.
Just dip into my overhead carry-on.
I put a fake gun in my mouth and pulled the trigger with my toe.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering what all the sound was. Anyway, so yeah, I'd sooner rather shit in the fucking house.
Yeah. Given how far away the outhouse is from the shack and how it's -50. And who's making that walk? Like -50 during the day.
And like when they constructed this building, they didn't not a single board that is in this building is touching another board.
It's just gaps everywhere. The cold is getting in.
The only thing that's keeping you warm is the fact that there's a big pile of feces underneath you. And if that's not fresh, like you're sitting on cold wood while a cold breeze flies at your face.
What a great place to ride a fat guy. What a great place to romantically ride a fat man who is one wipe into wiping after having just shit.
Don't say it like that.
He goes, I'm gonna go shit, and the fucking does Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then she wastes all of a wipe's worth of time to get out there and bang him in that fucking dirty outhouse.
Don't say that.
That's the truth. You get to see him wipe once, and he even makes a face like, that's probably enough.
That's probably enough.
Look at you. There's no way that's enough.
God.
There's more than one nook and cranny down there for you to get at.
Holy shit.
Damn.
Yeah, you're right. To be honest, I didn't even see him wipe. I just saw him go, ugh.
Yeah, he got one out. Before that happens, though, just a man shows up.
Oh, and he's such a lovely man.
Oh, a piece of shit. Also, a man shows up and his first words are, "Can I get some coffee?" No. No, don't come in.
Yeah.
Why are you out here by yourself when it took a snowmobile and a hike to get here?
Exactly, yeah.
Don't come into my place, please.
Yeah, you know the kind of people who troll around the woods and knock on random doors? Or the kind of people who fucking want your skin?
They're the kind of people that grab you by the throat for no reason, which is what he does.
Well,
after disrespecting everyone in the cabin also.
Oh my god, this guy's a sack of shit.
They go out of their way to get him a coffee, and he goes, "This sucks.
This sucks." And then he just takes a beer, cracks it, chugs the whole thing.
And then goes, "What are you small, spoiled brats doing out here?"
Yeah.
He might as well have just said, "In my neck of the woods."
And like, they're just there, right? And he's like,
they're hanging out.
You motherfuckers.
How dare you live your life out here?
What are you, having fun in the woods? You can't just have fun in the woods.
No, it's hell, because I make it hell for myself. Look at my tent outside.
He's like, yeah, you spoiled brats. You never bothered to read the local history of this place before you came snowmobiling in, did you?
No, I sure didn't.
Who
because
the fuck ever reads any history before they go anywhere? It's always war and farming.
Yes.
If it's not farming, it's war.
Those are your two fucking options, and then sometimes slavery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could make a wild guess.
Yeah.
Where are we, Norway? Bet there's a lot of war here.
Well, in Norway, once you turn 18, it's mandatory that you go into the military for a certain number of years. So all of their stories are about war.
Well, there you go.
Those are your options.
I fucking nailed it.
And Norse mythology, which, guess what? War. War all the time because we made it happen.
Yeah, they didn't even think about farming. They just went straight to war.
You got some corn? That's probably fine. Let's
go
to war.
let's go to a war with the corn. Fucking take it out.
This is where I noticed the mouth noises in this fucking movie because his favorite thing to do is make them.
Oh my god.
And then he tells a long, boring story that I checked out of, to be quite honest. He was the Nazis, and they were very rude to the people here while they were occupying. And then also Satan, for some reason, some Satan.
Well, it was Satan in the way that he was just calling a Nazi Satan.
Okay.
He was comparing a Nazi to Satan, which sure.
He said it evil and Satan a bunch of times. I was like, well, maybe he's trying to make it supernatural or something. Thank you for the ghost story to interrupt this boring game of Twister.
To make a long story short, Nazis escaped justice / death.
Hid a bunch of treasure around.
Yeah, and then they likely froze to death 50 years ago, and that's why all these fucking kids need to be careful. Because there could be some...
Because there could be some dead bodies around.
Yeah, if they didn't freeze to death, it's been 50 years, so they're frozen to death.
That's really the only option.
Yeah, so we better be careful. We don't want to fuck around with these frozen dead Nazis.
I would hate to trip over a skeleton.
You're saying they're in the mountains? I'm just going to stay here then.
Yeah, I haven't seen one, so we're good, right?
Well, they didn't check the goddamn toilet.
They didn't check a couple places, and I'm going to get to that near the end of the movie where I got pissed off. The end of this movie really peters off in a way that annoys the hell out of me.
Fair enough.
I noted here that I really appreciated just about everybody, because this is when Snowmobile wakes up in the night after he has a dream about his dead girlfriend.
Well, just before that, as this fucking old man is leaving, he's like, "Hey, yeah, you guys, you fucking kids."
Yeah. And
then Glasses is like, "Hey, we're medical students.
Yeah, don't worry.
We got this.
We're good."
And like, oh fuck, then he grabs him by the throat, like, "Fuck you for not taking my zombie Nazi story seriously."
Yeah.
Ah!
Give me a second on that. And then thanks for the coffee.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You didn't even drink it. You ashed a cigarette in that thing, you fuck.
Yeah.
You went to all the trouble of rolling a cigarette so that he could smoke it twice and then ash it in the coffee.
The second
disrespectful.
The second he sat down, I was like, "So what are you kids doing here?" I'd be like, "Just get the fuck out, man.
Leave.
Get the fuck out.
We're not hanging out with you is what we're doing."
Yeah, and he just rolls like the worst looking cigarette.
It's all the tobacco's all up front. He tries to drag it, and he has to like 3 times in order to get any. And then when he exhales, there's almost no smoke anyway. Do better. What else? Because you cut to fucking him in the tent shortly after that.
Yep.
He's out here all the time. Learn how to roll cigarettes better.
Yeah. Anyway, so fucking snowmobile gets a nightmare.
Yeah, he does.
He has a spooky dream in his sleep.
My confusion here was, why the fuck did you wear your hat to bed?
I wanted to guess because like most of your body heat is lost through your ears, so it was like around his ears. I mean,
he's got a blanket on. Just cover yourself.
Fair enough.
It can't be comfortable. Also, he wakes up as if he hadn't just been sleeping in a hat all night. His hair is like perfect.
Hey, that's what it's for. It keeps
just
everything
keeps it intact. Yeah. So that's where I noted everybody in this movie pretty much just has normal body types. Like, he's not ripped or anything. He's just like a slender dude.
He's just a fucking medical student.
And he snowmobiles and was in the military. And you have a fat guy, and you have just like some skinny people, and a regular looking guy. And I was like, okay, well, I like the way that this movie was cast.
Yeah.
Because nobody's Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah. And
nobody's like unattainably ripped or skinny.
Yeah, I mean, that's just unrealistic.
Right?
Unrealistic.
How dare they?
Nobody works out anymore. So yeah. You were gonna say something earlier about his nightmare?
Yeah, I was just pissed that he wore his hat to bed.
Okay, all right.
And then normal body type, because he's shirtless there, so you get to see.
Fair enough.
And then cut to tent.
Yes, this old man fucking raw dogging the snow in some shanty ass tent.
Also, like, why the fuck you're bringing a bowl, right, to eat soup out of? At least make it a nice bowl. Don't make it like a Tin Man's hat that you're eating your meals out of.
It's just a funnel, and he puts his thumb in the bottom so it doesn't leak out.
You're giving yourself lead poisoning. Do better.
Oh my god! And he's just like literally laying on snow with his coat on.
Yeah.
And he's so concerned with the evil and all of this, but yet he's just fucking tarp tent with sticks.
Yeah.
Shanty town.
The terrain is the least of the dangerous things out here. I'm sleeping in a cloth tent.
Yeah. Oh. You know, one thing Nazis can't see is tarp material.
They're blind to it. Here's noises out front. Again, gives the hello. Anybody out there at night, even if it is a person, is not there to be fun and respond nicely to a hello. All right? Your least of your worries are treasure like hunters who are also murderers. You know? So I did like that he was like, I have a weapon. Okay, cool. I'm still on the outside and you're in there. I know exactly where you are.
Yeah. I mean, just the fact that you say that you have a weapon means nothing to a goddamn grizzly bear.
100%. And they're not responding to the hello, so it's very likely they're not going to speak your language anyway.
Yeah.
You just made yourself known to an assailant, animal or man.
At that point, you should just be pulling the trigger and blaming
in
any direction.
Just put holes in your tent. It's already flimsy as fuck.
You might as well.
He's bundled right up. And then he does a thing that pisses me right off.
What does he do?
Well, he hears the noises, brings his gun out and his flashlight, and then he looks with the flashlight in one direction.
Well, that's how you know there's no... You go where you think the danger is. Don't worry about where the danger might be.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
Yeah, you just... If danger's not in this one direction, we're good.
This small triangle of light I've shone is enough for me to know I'm safe. Because there wouldn't be anybody coming from anywhere but right in front of me.
Well, that's the respectable thing for a boogeyman to do, is to approach you from the front.
They're very honorable.
They are.
Specters.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody should know a boogeyman will never sneak up on you. It has to be invited in.
Well, you're going to notice what exactly happens. Is a boogeyman sneaks up on him.
Hey, he gets his shit slit. Gets his shit slit wide open.
And I was impressed because he had enough, which is stupid, but like he had enough energy after getting his throat cut so open to get back into his tent and set up just in case.
Yeah.
You're already dead. Just let it happen.
You might as well finish yourself off because what's about to happen is worse.
Instead of wait for the Nazi zombie to run in and just stab your stomach open.
Ugh.
Stab your guts right onto the outside.
And then we cut to snowmobile guy leaving to find his dead ass sister.
I tell you what, guys, girlfriend, not sister.
Oh, okay, sure.
But
her name was Sarah anyway.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I I'm a little concerned after a dream that I had that my girlfriend's not doing too well on the mountain. I'm going to take the only method of transportation within a 10-kilometer radius of you and go out until I find her. Good luck.
He's probably just doing like a big, like
asshole circle.
Just like a big swirl, you know?
Yeah.
Just circles, concentric until he's cased the entire joint, and then he's probably going to section those off.
In a grid pattern.
Yeah, and then he's going to case each individual section.
Like a professional ranger station search party, rather. What he does instead is take time out of searching for his girlfriend that he's worried about to do some sick jumps on the snowmobile.
Oh, yeah. He's really radical about finding his missing girlfriend.
This guy's just like practicing for the X Games the whole movie.
He might as well have crushed a monster and then chucked it at the camera.
What if he takes a jump off of a snow dune and just, that's my girlfriend, and lands right the fuck on her? Whoops.
Just crack another monster, bro.
Shit. There's no murder that can't be made better by the consumption of a Monster, Red Bull, or Rockstar.
This has been a sponsored message from mild adults trying to get you to drink energy drinks. So he takes off, and then it's like a metal music montage.
Yeah, it is.
GT Snow Racer down the hill.
GT Snow Racer for like 20 feet they go before they fall, and then just arbitrarily decide who wins.
Yeah, why isn't the whole movie just the GT Snow Racers? If you tell me there's zombies coming, I'm gonna get to the first hill on the GT Snow Racer. I'm out.
We're putting distance.
Yeah.
Immediately we're doing that.
I mean, it has
a steering wheel.
There's brakes.
Yes.
Why would you don't have a snowmobile? This is literally the next best thing.
And later on, they go, well, somebody's got to get down to the river, which they call a fjord. So down to. That's where safety is. There's people down at the river. You can ride that thing all the way. Where'd they go? Where'd the GTs go the second shit hit the fan?
They literally have a trail to follow from the snowmobile.
Yes, they do. That was confusing. Later on, they're like, well, the snow fucked up the tracks. No, it didn't. Otherwise, why would he make them? It's going to snow on the mountain.
You could still follow tracks.
Yeah, man.
They're still there. It's a big wide. There would be so much snow. You would still be able to see the divot where the other snow had been.
Yeah.
This is, if you don't live in a climate where there's snow, you don't fucking understand what we're saying. It's not like sand. It's not like sand.
It's nothing like sand. Tracks stick around, guys.
Oh, good lord. He also, snowmobile guy takes a sick minute to eat a sandwich on a nice scenic background.
Is it a sandwich?
I don't know.
It's one slice of bread.
I don't know. I just saw it in some wax paper. I assumed it was Subway.
It's a bread and cheese. He takes 2 bites out of that shit and is like, well, I'm full.
And he's not even looking at the scenic, like, lake behind him. He's just looking off at some shit we don't get to see.
In the opposite direction of the gorgeous stuff. But he's still, like, smiling and nodding like an asshole. Yeah, all this flat white sure is beautiful. I feel like I'm looking at an untouched canvas. You know, that's my favorite.
If only there was, like, a lake here, I could sit here and paint some happy little trees next to this shit. But nah, he's eating a sandwich looking off like an asshole.
We're partying as if it's not a concern to anybody else that somebody's a member of their party is missing. We're just getting drunk during the day. It's all good.
Yeah, until snowmobile guy finds that old men's flap ass tent.
Yeah.
And everybody in this goddamn movie is so polite and friendly. he walks up, hello. Hey,
because
hello?
the guy's like sitting upright, right? And all you can see is his face.
Yeah, his face is fucking blue purple. And he has the unmoving look on his face as if he's either coming or shitting.
He has the most terrified and surprised expression. It's like he tried to do one and got the other by accident.
And then died of embarrassment and blood loss from the extreme force of either of the two.
Oh my god.
And he's just looking through his fob like, hello, and the guy
guts out.
He's fucking purple.
And his guts are out.
Even if he's alive. If he's alive and you look in and you see him and he's alive.
And he doesn't blink.
He's doing something you don't need to see.
Yeah.
He's painted himself purple and he is orgasming. The only way this dude gets off is if he's Grimace. That's all I gotta say. It doesn't take opening the flap for me to go, I'll come back later.
God. And then on the note of coming back later, you see a dead guy. You see a whole body out. No animal does that. No animal cuts the throat of a person and then takes their guts out and doesn't eat them.
they go, you know what? Actually, I'm full. I didn't even need these guts. What am I doing?
I'm such a glutton. So what does he do? He doesn't go back and warn people about the murder right nearby.
Yeah, he certainly doesn't go pick up his friends on his machine.
Exactly.
And take them to the other machine that will get them out of there.
Matter of fact, 2 machines.
No,
Nah, fuck all that.
Yeah, I gotta find Sarah, who's likely the person who's either done this or had this done too.
If she's the person who done this, she could stay up here for all I care.
Yeah, fucking Sarah.
So his knee-jerk reaction there is to cause a potential avalanche by yelling her name loudly.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sees tracks and follows them. And I don't know at what point he diverted from the tracks, but he falls into a cave hole.
Yeah.
How about you just stay in the tracks where there's not any of that? Where somebody successfully walked in that direction once already.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a recommendation.
Nah, I'm fully on board with not falling into a random cave hole.
Yeah.
You know what?
Right out in that cave hole.
Yeah, you don't know where random cave holes are. You should always have a stick and jab the snow in front of you as you're walking.
Just if you're out in the mountains and they're covered in snow, walk like a blind person.
When it used to snow a lot, you remember when there used to be a lot of snow in the winter?
Yes.
At my grandma's place, she has a creek.
Okay.
And sometimes the snow bridges over the creek. And if you were light enough, you could make it over there. Sometimes you couldn't.
Now, is that just a soaker?
Yeah.
Is that just a frozen soaker? Because that's kind of the best case scenario.
Yeah, it's a small creek.
In some other places, there's like full-on rivers that are whitewater underneath that shit. And you'll just die.
Oh, yeah. If it wasn't a crick that was up to my shin, or not even my shin, just whatever. What's this right here?
That is your heel or ankle?
That's about as wet as I ever got.
Yeah, which sucks, obviously.
Does it ever? You know what? I'm glad global warming's taking the snow away. Fuck it. So
I agree.
Earlier in the film, Glasses explains to Old Man that we're medical students. We can take care of ourselves. We don't need your old ass help. You get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
is what he says to that old man. And then come to find out that Glasses throws up whenever he sees blood.
Yeah, whoops. Probably shouldn't be in the medical field. And they address that a couple of times.
Yeah,
oh, you still have that problem? This is what I'm talking about. Where the fuck did you get fresh carrots up here? She's just chopping carrots and cuts her finger, and that little tiny cutty goes...
And also, like, you find out that he still has 6 years of medical school.
You're not anything.
Yeah, did you just start? How many years of medical school are there in Norway?
Don't say medical student, just say high school student.
Yeah, I'm learning about the body.
What the fucking... He's just... I'm a medical student. Look, this is my research project. And he just pulls out a woolly willy.
Well,
It's the same guy as the operation guy.
Yeah, but you got the magnetic hair, so you can give him wicked pubes sticking out of his towel. That's the only place you put his magnetic pubes is on his pubic hair.
Yeah, that's right where those go.
Or was it only a head? I think it was only a head.
I think it was just a head.
Okay.
But you could probably imply pubes. You just put them at the bottom, sticking up like he's never shaven.
Yeah, so he's just a head and pubes.
Yeah.
This is about the time where the blonde guy, aka Fat Guy, as Jay has been calling him, reaches into some fucking hatch in the ground and...
Where they stashed the... Okay. They brought like 7 beers for this trip.
Which is really weird because there's like 1,000 beers on the table.
So many. Where did they all come from? Because they put the beers right in that.
I'm assuming it's in the ground. It keeps it cold.
Yeah.
This is a fridge in a cabin.
This is an extremely tiny crawl space in the floor.
I think it's like a cabin version, like a Norway cabin version of like a fridge.
Like a beer fridge. Okay.
We don't need power for it. It's just in the earth.
Yeah. What else is in that earth?
For some reason, there's just a box of Nazi treasure that nobody decided to, they just chucked beers on top of it.
Yeah.
So he pulls out this box.
They bring it up, but it's like, how long has it been since somebody came to this fucking cabin and not opened up the beer fridge?
I don't know.
How'd you get the treasure box in there?
I don't know. Well, first of all, let's ask a better question. So this cabin's supposed to belong to like to Sarah, who's it's her family's cabin.
Yeah.
Sarah, you got a Nazi family? Sarah, why do you have this Nazi gold in your family's cabin?
Glasses is half Jewish.
Yikers.
Ooh. Somebody's not telling somebody something in this group of friends.
So they pull out this box of gold and they're like going wild.
Hog wild with this gold.
That they're trying to decide whether or not they're going to take it. You know, it's probably been in here for 50 years. Not putting together that the old man had just told them a story about how Nazis probably about 50 years ago escaped to the mountains with all this gold and jewels.
He already explained why the treasure's there.
It's fucking, it's Nazi gold.
Yeah, it sure is.
No respectable jeweler. And especially in Europe is going to go, oh, what's this, a swastika? Yeah, we could probably buff that out.
The only place, to my understanding, that you can buy and sell Nazi gold is literally on the black market. Now, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure there's no free trade for that shit.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to destroy that.
Or it's independent collectors, and it's like, no, you just donate that to me for the museum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that episode of Always Sunny where they just bring the box of Nazi stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, why would you think I would want this?
It's antiques. Okay, go back and get the rocking chair that my grandmother's not going to hate me for having in the house.
Yeah, no. So yeah, there's no, what are you planning? You're not going to sell it to anybody.
No.
This is,
and if you wear Nazi, it, you're creating a much larger problem for yourself.
And they do that immediately.
Yeah.
The group disrespects that Holocaust jewelry so hard.
They make a point of being like, the old man goes, yeah, all this jewelry, it was stolen by Europeans right before they were murdered at the end of the war when the Nazis knew they were losing.
And oh no, we'll put those earrings right in my ear, please.
Not only does he do that, but then he's got the fucking balls to be like, we shouldn't be touching this.
Yeah.
It's in his ear right now.
You get a little shot. I missed it. I had to go back. Somebody slips a coin into to blonde sweatpants there.
I think it's so you know at the end. I think that's Martin's pocket. That's Glass's pocket because that's how like he get away. Like,
all right.
You know.
Well, then he just is greedy and he has a pocket full of gold because he drops one on his way to the shitter.
That's Fats.
Yeah.
Because that's when he goes, I'm gonna go take a shit.
Yup. So he does a good Arnold impression, not a great one, but he does an Arnold impression.
Disrespectful either way.
Yeah, and then a girl fucks him while he's shitting in an outhouse.
One wipe.
Yep.
She waits one wipe.
Oh, I don't even know if she waited. I think she tried to barge in.
Yeah, which definitely, that's what I mean, is like, it would require more than one for him. I can almost guarantee. So she didn't wait. He's got an ass full of shit, and she just hops right on.
You're in an...
It's not...
It's an outhouse.
There's beds inside.
And because it's not used frequently doesn't mean that it...
Doesn't reek of shit?
It's an outhouse.
Yeah. It's the dirtiest place to bang on the whole mountain.
And it's the second word gets out that there's an outhouse, all the mountain men are coming around. They don't want to use their own.
There's a high likelihood that that's a full outhouse.
Like the old man probably found them at that cabin because that's his shit.
He went there to use the...
And he's like, what's all this fucking noise? I'm trying to shit. Probably saw somebody was in the shitter and was like, God damn it.
Fuck, that's why he came in pissed.
Yeah. You people know what's on this mountain? Shit. I've been going here. Now, what are you doing?
And while they're banging, she fucking takes his shirt off. Her shirt off, rather, despite the point that you made earlier, which is there's just wide open gaps in this fucking outhouse walls.
This is borderline Blumpkin behavior.
It literally... Oh.
She's one mouthful of wiener away from a Blumpkin.
If he wasn't so pudgy.
I mean, that doesn't seem to prove a problem. Also, okay, look, if you watch this, I don't remember what she was wearing, but she maneuvers somehow, some way. All she does is like pop up once and like shift to the left, and then all of a sudden they're good to go.
There's no way it's pants. I never see her wear anything but pants, but there's no way that it is.
Like, I'm assuming they maybe it's just like sweatpants and she like pulled the flap wide open and then pulled her one. It just seemed like there wasn't enough movement for it to be like, hey, this is time.
Her legs would have to be like up by her shoulders. And he's just sitting down. Which, I mean, if you're going to bang that guy, you got to expect him to do the least imaginable work.
If, when you're sitting down.
Yep.
For those of you who are without penises.
I know where you're going to go already.
Your penis is not at its most impressive
or readily available
when you are sitting.
Yeah. It's as in as it gets, without temperature being a factor, which it very much is in Norway in an outhouse.
Yes. So I'm just wondering, like, he must, like...
He's got a hammer, bro.
He's got enough dick, like...
Yeah, she's filled up, and he's like, you're not even halfway.
Yeah, like, 20% was enough. It's like an iceberg, and 80% still under the water, you know what I'm saying? When you sit down,
yeah, dude.
It goes in.
Yeah. And then, to add on to that, a billowing stomach, which would also reduce access.
Oh, like, that's not even the problem at this point. It's just...
She's good with just tip.
Like, just pulling... It's like a telescopic... car antenna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a police baton. The ones that depress inward, right?
Yeah. She probably had to pull it out.
And for some reason, she was into that whole experience.
Yeah, I was really surprised that he didn't have to be like, come on, will you do me in while I'm shitting?
Please.
That's probably the only time... Well, I don't want to say the only time, because people are gross.
So far, all they've shared in common is the knowledge of 3 movies.
See,
that's all it took.
I thought they came together. But, hey.
No, because she was the one in the back of the car that got Roy offered up to her on the drive up.
Oh.
So she's the very single one in the car.
Oh, and she's into Blumpkins.
Yeah.
Well, now we know something about Chris.
She's not got the greatest judgment.
No.
As evidenced by her hat as well.
As evidenced by her hanging out with people who are coveting Nazi gold.
That. And the desire to, when she's using the bathroom afterward, right? Mm-hmm. Right after banging. Mm-hmm. She hears some noises outside. And then she looks through the slats, and there's a Nazi zombie staring at her. Yeah. Right through the slats.
Turns out the one thing that attracts Nazis is gold and people fucking in an outhouse.
How long was he watching?
I don't know. Depends.
They don't ever say, like, he's just been there. So he caught a peep show.
Oh, yeah.
And then he became hungry. Because she sits on the friggin' toilet, not even a toilet, on the bench with the hole, long enough for that Nazi to crawl through shit underneath and grab her through it.
I really wanted the Nazi to already be in the toilet.
I like that canon better, so I'm going to go with that.
I feel like when you are using an outhouse and you hear, like, a noise, like, the danger... At least
it's not outside.
At least these days, the danger is below you. The danger is already in the outhouse below you.
All right. I like that better, so I'm going to go with that. Yeah, one Nazi outside, one Nazi in, and they were working together as a team.
Yeah, oh, for sure. So she gets yanked down into where all of the shit and piss is.
Like the tapeworm episode of X-Files.
And she gets like an injury, which already you're fucked because you're in the shit and piss.
Her injury is that her intestines come out.
That seems to be the number one injury in this fucking film.
Yeah, they love intestines in this movie.
Yeah.
Holy fuck with the intestines all the time.
You don't see how her intestines come out. Just 1 minute her intestines are proper, the other minute they're goopy.
She has sepsis.
Yeah. And there's just shit all over her, and
she uses both hands to climb back out of the outhouse hole, which means that she just let her intestines flop around in shit for a while.
Oh, you know what would be the worst is getting a splinter on that wooden toilet seat as you're climbing out, right in the intestine. That would be the worst.
Now, how could this get any worse?
Now I'm gonna need a tweezer and a baby wipe.
That'll fix it. We're medical students. It's fine.
Yeah.
I noticed so I figured that the reason why the Nazis came out of the woodwork to fuck around with the outhouse is because he dropped that coin on the way to his shit party that he had.
Yeah.
So the Nazis in this movie are like the mummy with his organ jars, where they can just smell Nazi jewelry from a fucking mile away.
And then they become like Mario, where like, ooh, a fucking coin.
Yeah, exactly.
Mamma mia.
Yeah, stepping on mushrooms.
Mamma mia, I'm a climb into this outhouse. I'm a stink of some shit.
Oh my God.
Yahoo! And at some, they hear Chris screaming because her guts are coming out, and they're like, "Hey, turn down that fucking music.
Turn down that horrible Norwegian rock music, please."
Hey, I thought I heard screams, but I don't think I can hear them over all the fucking beers on the table.
Yeah.
Seems like we brought out all the beers out of the fridge and just set them on the table. Nobody's drinking a single beer, but all the beers are out here on the table.
And they're for easy access for later, so you don't have to keep going into the fridge. You could just stay seated.
Yes, because it's such a hassle to go, I'm reaching down and touching the floor, by the way.
So she pauses the music. Chris screams again, but she reacts not at all to a much more audible scream this time because there's no music.
Yeah.
She just slowly saunters, and it takes her long enough to get to the front door for Chris to get trucked from the side and disappear.
Yep.
Good.
And I think she maybe gets her throat slit too, I think.
Yes, I believe that also happened. Well, she gets her whole ass head cut right off, is what happens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, I don't know why, but it's either dreadlocks or other person.
Yeah.
They hand Glasses a fucking shotgun.
Yeah.
And the look on his face, if I would have saw that, I would have been like, okay, you don't get to have that shotgun.
Never mind. Has anyone else here seen a shotgun before?
Yeah, he looks like you just handed him a garden hose and it's like, here, go for it. Yeah. Take him out. And he's like, what do I do? Fuck that.
He fucking doesn't have a clue. It's like, okay, yeah. Even if I hadn't handled guns before, if you handed me one, I would know the two most important things, which are trigger and barrel.
Yeah.
You do that. Fine.
But no, yeah, he's...
Which side is which? And then he puts it in his fucking mouth or some shit. Do we eat it?
It's a mouth-activated shotgun, for sure.
Fucking, what's her name there? Liv, I guess. Blonde is looking out the window and she gets her fucking hair grabbed.
Oh, yeah.
And Dreadlocks comes in clutch with the axe, manages to not hit a Nazi zombie arm or the blonde girl's face or head. Which, good job. Just gets the hair. Sick.
I mean, that's just good thinking. Not only did she save her life, but now she has to get a haircut. She really put her in a, like, hey, now you have to get a new do, you stupid bitch.
Yeah. Little did you know, I've hated your haircut this whole trip. Then Glasses goes, everyone away from the windows, and then they promptly group together right in front of a window.
Do they ever?
Do they fucking ever do that?
And then, you
had every other option. They board the door with the sofa, let's get near the window.
I like that it like the hand comes through the glass and somebody cleavers it off, and they look at the ring and it's like, oh, it's Nazis.
Yeah.
Oh my. I didn't assume it was Nazis this entire time, seeing these people in fucking war outfits and helmets.
Yeah. The most telling thing being the Nazi brand army helmet that they're all wearing.
Germany brand Nazi helmet.
Nah.
Get yours today.
I know it's Nazis because the ring literally anybody can put on their hand.
Oh, hey, I've seen this symbol before, guys. It's bad. It's bad stuff. This symbol. The symbol of, it's just a bunch of L's stuck together, but I've seen this.
Then the Nazis somehow start an earthquake. They shake the entire house trying to get in.
Well, maybe it's a tiny house.
You get the Michael Jackson hand through the front door thing, which I thought was just, I love that.
There were a lot of little winks and nods to other films in this movie.
There were for sure. There's one actually for one of the movies that I have on my list for you to pick from.
I think I know the exact movie and I'm excited.
You probably do. Fatso gets too close to the window there and he gets his head pulled right in half.
Yeah, so
holy fuck.
He gets his eyes thumbed out and you're like, oh, that's the worst thing that's ever happened. I couldn't see how that could get any worse.
And then it does.
And then his head comes apart like a fucking macadamia nut.
And these retards are like still trying to save him while it's happening. Like and second he loses his eyes, I'm letting go.
Yeah, his brain is on the floor and they're like, no, don't take him.
Yeah, no, he's took.
We could put that back. 5-second rule.
We're medical students.
Like a damn pistachio shell. They just pull that thing apart, and that's the murder from the film of the T-shirt that he's wearing, which is hilarious. Ha 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 ha.
And then Roy goes, "I told you we should have just gone to the beach."
You know what? Yeah.
Not the time.
It's not the time, but like,
you're also right. Yeah.
There's never anything bad at the beach.
Before that. once Fats realizes that it's Nazi zombies, he goes, "Don't get bitten." But like nobody in the cabin goes, "You're fucking stupid. There's no way." Like nobody is skeptical of zombies in this whole group of people. That's it. Somebody goes, "It's Nazi zombie." They just jump to that, and it's like, well, it must be. You seem pretty confident.
They had the harbinger of death come and drink their coffee and tell them all about this.
He didn't fucking say shit about zombies.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. So here's my question. Are Nazi zombies, are they like their own type of zombie? Do you get bit and then do you just like learn to hate? Or is it just like these guys are Nazis and fuck, they're also zombies?
You get infected with racial bigotry. I have your answer as to what kind of zombies these are.
Please do.
It's a serious question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it was on I think either the historical or trivia page for this movie, which is their combination between traditional hungry eat your body zombies and I don't know how much Skyrim you've played.
Very little.
But another traditional Norwegian undead called a draugr.
Yes.
Which they just live in tombs. And when you disturb them, they come out. So this is why they can use weapons. This is why when you get bit, you don't turn into one.
And they're a little sentient. Just a little bit.
Yeah. They can also speak Norwegian.
Yes, they can.
So, fine.
Or German, I would assume.
Yeah, one or the other.
I got to assume they sound very similar. I'm going to go ahead and just be that bigot.
You're being a bigot against white people.
I know.
Actually, apparently Norwegian people hate to be called white because it's their own culture.
Well, you know what? I hate to tell you guys.
Look in the mirror. Maybe just take a gander.
Don't be the color of paper if you don't want to be called it. That's I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. So blonde guy gets his head yanked apart. That's all fun. That's all fun. But this whole time, their snowmobile friend is still in that goddamn hole.
Yeah, he has a traumatic brain injury from that hole. When he wakes up grabbing his head. I was like, okay, well, you've been knocked out for an afternoon. That's bad.
Yeah, you're like, since you've been asleep,
so many things have happened.
Lives have changed, buddy. It is a different world outside of that hole.
Yeah, dude, maybe just stay in it, which he does, which pisses me off.
I would have stayed in the hole too. Fuck it.
The conversation between everybody in the cabin once they realize that they're kind of fucked and help isn't coming is, okay, we're gonna one group of us has to create a diversion while the other group runs for the cars. And the way they determine this is just by going, all right, the guys are fucked.
Hey,
we're gonna send the chicks for the cars.
Titanic rules.
Sexist.
Titanic rules, man.
Sexism. Why would you got Twister right there? Play Twister for it. For who's the sacrifice.
I would have preferred that, to be honest with you.
Or you could even just do rock, paper, scissors, you know? Instead of just arbitrarily deciding, oh, the guys have a better chance against zombies.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so let's arm ourselves with a pot and pan, like a pot and a ladle and some derogatory language. That's their whole thing. The guys, they're banging a pot and pan to nothing.
Nothing at
There's
all.
No zombies. There's no need to do that. And then the guy's like, hey, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to be mad about... He literally is like, oh, I think they're going to be pretty mad about that.
I made a mistake.
Yeah, oh man, I shouldn't have said fuck you to these zombies. Oh my god. Yeah, it's just banging a pot and pan. Like, what's that really gonna do?
It's just be loud. Be less loud than the ambient noise on a mountain at any given time.
And
also, potentially cause an avalanche again.
Yes!
Again with that.
Because that was the whole intro to the movie was like, well, if there's an avalanche, you spit.
We're good.
So we're going to do everything to cause an avalanche as if we haven't seen a goddamn Bugs Bunny cartoon.
You know, some cartoons are based in reality, and that's one. Sometimes people cough and start an avalanche. Like, if it's wet, you're just fucked.
I've never seen an avalanche start, but I got to tell you,
if you're doing anything that echoes up the mountain, fucked. So don't yell your girlfriend's name who's missing.
Yep.
And don't bang a pot and pan.
Yeah, and don't say fuck you to the zombies.
And don't say fuck. I mean, they get what they deserve for doing that.
That's just rude as shit.
It is. What did you expect? So fucking guy wakes up. He gets out of the cave through a little hole that he's got to dig through. And then he just sees his snowmobile and goes, fuck escaping. And goes back in and just explores the creepy catacombs by himself.
Smart. Smart.
So smart choice number 1, and then number 2, you come across 2 desecrated graves, and then that's still not enough, and then a Nazi flag, which he had to create a torch from scratch using the gas from the snowmobile in order to have. So he went all the way outside to go back in.
But it's good that he did, because that's where he found the gun.
Oh, well, that's where he found the machine gun. I missed that part. I thought he was just packing it in the snowmobile the whole time.
Oh my God. No,
Yeah,
that would be ridiculous.
So I was fucking baffled.
That's too much heat.
I was like,
that's too much heat to bring on a friendly vacation.
I was like, how the fuck do you just have a machine gun the whole time in the mountains?
Yeah, like you didn't bring that out the first night. Like, hey guys, you want to see some shit? Just knock down a couple trees.
And then once again, start an avalanche, for fuck's sake. I can only assume that because he picked up that gun, that's why he got punched in the face so hard that he flew 20 feet.
Oh my God, he did a flip through the air. He Buck Rogered it right out of that hole.
And he just stands up and is like, ow, my jaw a little.
And
I've been punched in the face way softer than that, and I've had to sit down for a while.
This is where the zombie like jumps on him and tries to take a bite out of him, but just gets a mouthful of down.
And he's pissed.
Oh yeah,
Pissed right off by that.
Oh, feathers, ugh.
Yeah, gross.
You ever bite into KFC and get a fucking feather?
I have never done that, and I'll never do that.
You will.
I'm never gonna take that chance.
I'll tell you what, you will. You will have KFC.
I'll be grossed out.
And you will see a feather.
But that means it's not cooked enough.
No, that just means that somebody didn't pull the feathers out.
Well, they should do that before they cook it.
Yeah? you fucking try and do that. It's a lot of work.
It's like their whole job.
No, the job is to put the chicken in a deep fryer.
It's like getting a chicken foot. Scrutinize the meat before deep frying it.
No.
I'm sorry. That would only happen at a KFC, and I have no right to complain because I will have been in a KFC.
Well, look, the raw chicken comes in a net, and then you just go, you rip it open and dump it in flour. You don't look at what's coming out of the bag. You just mush it around.
It explains a lot.
And then you throw it into a device that looks a lot like a bird cage.
I'm really telling you that you're not selling KFC to me very well right now.
I used to work there. I'm not trying to sell it to you.
Good. You also just said I will have it, though, and I'm here to disagree.
You will have it.
No.
You will not go the rest of your life without not having it.
Popcorn chicken. That's all I care about.
One day, I'm going to be like, hey, here, dude, have this Popeyes.
Chicken fingers.
No.
Yeah, no bone.
It's gonna be a 3-piece meal.
Then I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna put it in my asshole, and then I'm gonna mix it in with the stuff that you got for yourself. And then I'm not gonna tell you which one it was.
Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing.
What's that?
You're not going to enjoy that meal. That sounds very unpleasant. You're not gonna get the traditional flavors of chicken that way. Oh my God. I forgot where we were in this movie. Just biting into down feather jackets.
Yeah, that.
And then so in return, because the guy's like, haha, has the mouthful of feathers, helmet headbutt.
Yeah.
And just blood.
And for some reason, he's like just fine. He's fine enough to fight back well.
Yeah, you just had your nose crushed into your whole skull.
Yeah. If you came at me with a knife like this zombie does, I wouldn't have the energy, or probably, given the way my face looks now, desire to stop you from killing me.
But the zombie goes in for bite number 2, and the biter becomes the bitey. Mm-hmm. And I never would have thought to bite a zombie. First of all, it's a zombie. Ew.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect them to feel pain, but these are the different kind.
Yeah, and also ew.
Also, yeah, gross.
Ew.
That's dead flesh.
You're gonna get a disease. You're gonna have at least diarrhea from that.
This guy also does like a super poor job of cleaning his face off for the rest of the movie.
They all do.
And it's zombie blood, and it's just dripping into your mouth and eyes all the time. Even if it's not the infection kind of zombies, these are bare minimum 50-year-old corpse bodies. That's gross blood in there.
It's weird how fresh the blood seems, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but you're not wrong. Like, that blood's stagnant. It's not moving.
Yeah. So then we cut back to them at the cabin. At some point, and I don't know when, but the two guys make it back to the cabin, even though they ran in the opposite direction in the previous shot they were in.
Yeah.
One of them jumps over a hill and everything.
Oh yeah, there's a hilarious shot where they jump over a hill.
And then it's the two girls running through the woods.
Yeah.
And one of them gets trucked real good.
Oh, trucked so damn good.
Real good in the face. Now, I called it the live zombie because I wanted to remember it. It's the one I believe that they see early. Okay, so when they're doing like the tree climb, right? Dreadlocks fucking climbs up the tree or whatever, and there's 2 zombies at the bottom, and one of them is in like a white North Face jacket from 2010.
The tactical snow zombie.
What the fuck is that? Where
Yeah.
did you get that from? Everybody else is in Nazi garb, and you look like you just got off of Bowler Mountain.
He's the one Nazi who came prepared.
Yeah, everybody else is freezing. He's just like, I'm good.
Yeah, I love the tactical snow zombie.
Fucking chase these guys forever. And he's also the only one.
Well, again, he's the only one who came prepared.
Fuck's sake.
We cut from like that to back to like the dude fighting the zombie snowmobile guy.
Yeah.
And he finds a bayonet and throws it and magically gets the guy right
Bam, head right there.
right there. And then
Attribute that to his Norwegian military training. I have no
Sure.
other choice.
the zombie falls onto a tree and his guts come out.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, haha. He's like, just like, fuck this zombie, smiling at what he's done, just watching the zombie be dead.
And then right in the background,
You see another zombie getting
I'm
up.
awake.
And then for some reason, the zombie tackles him.
Yeah.
And I don't know who grabs onto the guts.
Yeah.
But
those are some fucking strong guts.
Those were some sturdy guts.
Yeah.
And like they unravel the whole way and just
Hanging.
Yep, just hanging on.
By just intestines.
Just hanging off a cliff.
And so you got the zombie who has been impaled on the stick just screaming about his poor intestines.
Yep.
And then the bite face gets himself bitten. Because he doesn't go, hey, get off me. The
Yeah.
fucking zombie is hanging off him off the cliff. Why don't you just kick him in the head once?
For real. You know what? Even just like let go and try and land on him.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
That's fine.
Fuck it.
Later on in this movie, fucking Dreadlocks falls off a much higher cliff and she's just fine.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, I got some problems with that fucking movie.
While they're running, Dreadlocks double taps a zombie in the face with her feet so hard that it squishes that face into a fine paste.
Like a rotten pumpkin.
Oh my God.
Like a goddamn rotten pumpkin. She clotheslines a zombie.
Yeah.
And just stomps it. And then we got the white coat girl. She gets TKO'd.
Yeah.
And
she wakes up to just mouthful of her own intestines.
she's like experiencing anesthetic awareness where you wake up during surgery and they're just like,
oh God,
they're just thumbing through her guts like a magician's like just pulling them out like
the handkerchiefs on the wrist.
And like there's a prize at the bottom, just like where is it?
She makes the best decision out of anybody in this whole movie, which is just, I see that grenade.
Yeah.
Boom.
Thank God she knew how to operate a World War II grenade.
Yeah.
From Germany.
She must be a historian.
That's real convenient that, because like I wouldn't know.
No, you just grab it and just fucking wiggle it around like, open.
It just looks like a stick with a knob on the end. I just
does.
Tap him on the head. I enjoyed how you see red coat, dreadlocks running, and then there's just like an explosion.
Yeah.
Like,
giant fucking explosion for a grenade, too.
Yeah.
Right over the tree line.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Big fireball.
Yeah.
Huge fireball for such a tiny little stick, but I don't know. I've never seen one go off.
Yeah, that could be the case.
So yeah, you get her climbing up the tree to avoid these 2 zombies that are coming.
The biggest asshole crow in the history of birds.
This Muppet ass crow that does not come out from behind the tree, but it's just like,
oh my God.
You just see wings flapping at her.
You hear crow sounds, right? And then, somebody's hand puppet just pokes out enough for wings, and she smashes it to death.
Oh my God.
With her bare hands.
She grabs that and she fucking Bear Grylls that fucking crow. There's an episode of, what is it, Man vs. Wild, where he's like, I'm hungry. I'm here in the Amazon. And he just reaches in and grabs a lizard and he's like, all right. And just bops it off a tree. And he's like, all right, we're eating tonight, boys.
Oh my God. I think I saw him kill like a deer too. Anyway. Yeah, because she's hiding in the tree and trying to be quiet, so naturally she murders the crow in the loudest way possible.
Yeah, it turns out
it's surprised when the zombies hear that.
Turns out stifling a crow is a lot louder than just natural forest crow sounds.
Yeah, she probably could have gotten away with it because it would have been fine.
Yeah.
The zombies are like, I hear that every day out here. Whatever.
They've been out here for 50 years. They've heard a fucking crow before.
And so she she jump down on one and knifes it at the same time.
With
while
a
the
branch.
other one tries to climb the tree.
Yeah, she like impales a branch through his head for some, sharp ass branches, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. As evident later on, just intestines again with the branches.
Yeah, apparently guys don't run through forests because if you trip, your intestines are going to come out.
Yeah. Or if you're just like absentmindedly running forward and you don't notice a tree branch, whoops, intestines again.
Yep.
Before all this happens, they're having a conversation about how, like, what the easiest way, because they get lost, what the easiest way to find anything is. And one of them goes, let's split up. And the other one goes, what are you, fucking stupid? No. And then they do anyway.
Yep. Oh, my God.
So, all right, fine.
Apparently, they've never watched any of those horror movies that they were listing off earlier.
Right? And so, at this point, Dreadlocks' best idea is to run to the edge of a cliff, wait for the zombie to get close enough, and just break it off so that they both fall.
What a brilliant idea.
Right on.
Because if I have to die, you gotta die too.
Not even worth it. There's more zombies. Also, if you're already prepared to risk death in order to fall off a cliff, just jump. Mm-hmm. Just jump and try to land in a parachute pose instead of falling headfirst like she does because of her own actions.
Yeah, well, she lands right side up, because you could tell.
Yep.
By the way, her fucking
nose ran.
All that snot just
filthy
hanging.
Snot hanging out.
But so yeah, she falls, and then we get fucking glasses and athletic haircut fighting off zombies.
And their best plan is let's make a Molotov cocktail and throw it in the corner of the wood building we're in.
I assumed they missed the window.
So Glasses like makes a face like, whoops, you fucked up.
Yeah.
But even then, what exactly was your plan? Because that's going to be extremely contained. It's wet snow outside.
Yeah, you're just dumping alcohol out into the snow.
It's strong vodka. You're going to get a small pool of fire by one window and it solves nothing. Mm-hmm. So alternatively, let's just make our bad problem even worse.
It's not like they tricked the zombies into coming in the house first.
Which you also could have done.
Yeah, but no, we'll burn it down while we're in there.
Yeah. Let's go to the weapon shed.
Oh, well, it's just a shed. it's just a regular ass shed.
Yeah, fine. Oh yeah, while that's happening, after all the work they went into, like, building up that we're gonna subvert the no phone service in the wilderness trope, he places a call to 911 and then mentions the zombies instead of, we're in a flaming cabin on the mountain and we have no way down, please send help. Also, there's zombies, and then gets shocked when the fucking dispatcher hangs up on him.
Yeah, you don't need to bring up the zombies. I think the zombies should be like a shock when you get there.
Yeah,
because you just be like, hey, there's bad men here trying to get us.
Yeah,
I'm going to show up and it's zombies. It's like, wow, okay.
We need more help, and then the problem would just get solved much more quickly.
Yeah, but no. Nobody's going to come running when, first of all, it's zombies.
Yeah.
Get me the fuck out of here.
If I'm the dispatcher, I'm like, it's not my problem.
I'm not sending police to where they're going to get murdered. I'm not going to be that dispatcher. You're on your own, honey.
Right? I don't need my 90-day suspension.
The lead Nazi zombie he's all bottom jaw.
Yes. He's got a cleft lip, the worst one I've ever seen.
He's got a cleft mouth. The whole mouth is cleft.
Another point I wanted to bring up about the phone service thing is that right after that call, he tries to place another one and his battery dies. Mm-hmm. Why was nobody placing phone calls at all up until this dire point?
Yeah.
There's at least one working phone. You should have been calling all night last night and probably the day before. Can we get a search and rescue team up here for my girlfriend who's been lost skiing?
You're going to tell me you had a fucking phone and you didn't plug it in?
Also there's no electricity up here.
Well, you can't blame Nokia for that because he goes, oh, fucking Nokia phones. That's not Nokia's fault. They put a battery in there. You just didn't charge it, shithead.
Also, you fucked up. Nokia is stereotypically the strongest and best type of phone.
Yeah, he throws off the floor. It might as well have bounced up and hit him in the face.
You should throw that at the zombie.
So they go to the shed and it happens to be full of weapons and guess what? Let's just see some Evil Dead camera work, please.
Yep. Super brief.
Yeah,
super brief.
They do it a couple times.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's the quick cuts. It's just chainsaw, shotgun.
Because those two things, right? Also, they mention Evil Dead, so of course they're gonna fucking do Evil Dead stuff.
Oh, all they do is Evil Dead stuff.
Goddamn. What's his face there? Snowmobile, while he's hanging off the cliff, gets bit in the neck, and then when he gets back to his snowmobile, he does, for a medical student, a worse job than a toddler could do at stitching and fixing that neck wound.
Well, he can't see what he's doing.
No.
He doesn't have a mirror to look at.
But, like, okay, enjoy your, like, dirty 1942 zombie blood infected. Don't, just leave it open. It'll probably be healthier. And then also, he just grabs some black duct tape and basically chokes himself out.
Oh, yeah, he wraps that shit around there.
Like, he doesn't want it to come off ever.
It's like a dirty, bloody ascot. It's just like electric. It's not even duct tape. It's definitely electrical tape.
Oh my god, showing all of his no medical student knowledge.
Well, yeah, he's still got 6 years to go, so...
They're just up there LARPing about being medical students.
The worst.
Anyway, fucking mounted machine gun that I thought he just pulled out of nowhere. And then he goes back, and there's on a snowmobile, and there's a zombie that latches itself onto the back of the fucking snowmobile and then goes to attack him and gets fucking branched so good.
I missed it.
Oh my god. He stands up for half a second and then just branched to the chest right away. And he falls so cartoony too. He's just like, fuck. Well, that just happened to me, I guess. I'm
gonna go watch that. I bet that's literally how it happened. It was an accident and they just threw it in the movie. That dude probably died later.
Yes, sledgehammer's not a good weapon choice. Here's the thing, like, it's not established for these characters that these are not the bite kind of zombies, like the bite infection kind.
No.
So the weapons of choice here don't make any fucking sense. Don't choose a chainsaw. That's the bloodiest thing you could have.
Yeah.
In this context, I like it better because he uses it well.
Oh my god, there's a lot of fun chainsaw deaths.
But then also, like, my one complaint about chainsaw as a weapon is you're going to get that lodged in a body, and you're just going to be stuck there until it gets itself out. Mm-hmm. Which is what happens. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But, like, if these are the bite zombies, then you just fucked yourself. It's a whole group of them that they're trying to fight off. You're just going to get swarmed while you're waiting.
You're putting too much thought into this, man.
I can't. No, I have to. The other guy chooses the sledgehammer, which was bad because you're winded after one swing. But then he's got the small hammer and the sickle, and those are both perfect. Mm-hmm. Great.
They're great weapons.
To rip those zombies right apart. This is the best part of the movie also.
Well, before that happens, we get to the part that pissed me off.
Okay.
So, Lady Dreadlocks, Mrs. Let Me Fall Off This Cliff.
Oh, yeah, right.
She wakes up in a little under the snow area. Mm-hmm. Where's that cliff? Because she's in the middle of the fucking woods.
Oh my god. There was no cliff.
There's no gorge anywhere near where she gets out of that snow.
They just shot it elsewhere.
Yeah, she just gets up and she's like, I'm in the woods now.
Yeah. What pissed me off about that, to be nitpicky, is it also happened when Snowmobile got out of the... Like, you're not out of danger. Don't lay down and take a beat. Mm-hmm. Because if North Face wasn't stuck in the hill, you would have just gotten fucked. Yeah,
oh yeah, because guaranteed he's going to be able to dig through the snow faster than you.
Yeah, and so and maybe he just landed fine somewhere else. Don't rest right now.
Yeah.
Wait until you know you're safe.
But it's okay, because he also gets his head stepped in like a rotten pumpkin.
Well, he got real stuck. It's his own damn fault.
But yeah, then we get to like the fun... the
best part of the movie by far.
Easily some of the best deaths.
Zombies just getting cranked and cranked. I have one complaint about this scene. There's two really at least chainsaw scenes where he just stands there and gets blooded up and down, right?
Yeah.
Later on, there's one hit with a hammer where they put digital blood on the camera in post. Wouldn't the chainsaw have been the better weapon to do that for if you were going to do it? Mm-hmm. Why would you wait until after?
All of the blood was digital in this movie, I feel.
Unless there were also guts, I'm inclined to agree.
Well, the blood's squirting. I've seen all of those effects in that in like the video co-pilot.
Yeah, there were a lot of them for sure. When he's stitching his neck up, I feel like they just had a hose with a pump.
Yeah,
because it looked pretty real.
That could have been, but like the zombies when they're smashing each other's heads in.
Yeah. There's a couple. So when Roy's going at just like the 1/3 of a head sitting up still with a hammer, I think that was just bags of blood.
That was one of my favorites because it's just
that was the best.
Just to the music, and he's just hitting.
I'm not done yet.
There's no head. He's just hitting like the stump of what's left.
He's just hitting meat.
A lot of great chainsaw deaths.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed when he did the hammer and sickle and he crossed them.
Mm-hmm. You have to when you have both.
The zombie didn't like to see that. No. He was pretty upset by that, and he dies. I don't know what my favorite death in this movie was, but like once the snowmobile comes in,
dude,
he does like a catwalk over one.
Yeah, and he picks it up and slaps it down on one's head and just runs it.
Yeah, he grabs another guy by the arm and just jams him in and just
he gets conveyor belted in.
Yeah, like a
bad Chinese factory.
It's what I assume would happen if you got your shoelace stuck in an escalator.
Yeah, dude, totally that.
I don't know if I like that or the dude getting his head pulled apart.
I would choose the first chainsaw because he's just screaming. This is Glasses, right? This is the guy who for this whole, like, up until this point at least, or not at least, but up until this point, arguably has been afraid of blood.
Yeah.
And then he just gets covered and he's like, well, I guess you just have to jump in instead of wading in.
Yeah.
You know, it's that principle. It's cold water. Now I'm good.
Yeah, he's already got a little blood on him. Like, it's going to be a lot more blood before we're done. So we
better get used to this shit.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
He's going to be the best doctor after this. Actually, he's not, because he's an idiot.
Well, yeah.
Why is he an idiot, though, Matt? Oh, I got bit on the arm. Better cut that off with a chainsaw in the woods.
Hey. If they want to make Evil Dead references all they want, just let them do it.
Yeah,
let him cauterize his bloody arm stump after he cuts his own arm off with a chainsaw on a burning body. Let him do it.
He cauterizes his arm stump on a burning body that he poured gas on and lit 5 seconds ago. It's not hot enough yet.
It doesn't matter.
You gotta wait a bit for that.
Get your stump in the flames.
Also, the whole time he's doing that, Roy's trying real hard to be the voice of reason here. And he's like, come on, man, the fucking guy doesn't know anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be bite zombies. At no point, though, does he bring up, hey, you're covered in blood.
Yeah.
We are head to toe in zombie blood and none of us are coughing.
Before you fire up that chainsaw, let's take a logical look at this.
We're medical students. Logic should be involved.
But no, he cuts it off, cauterizes it, and then he's like, everything's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's just fucking dandy.
Apparently.
I'm so happy to have done this. I feel much better. It sucks that I had to cut my arm off, but you know what? I'm going to come out better in the end having done this.
I'm so happy about this that I'm not going to look down between my own legs.
Yes, because what do you see? What's down there to see, you know?
Well, I'll tell you what's down there to see, Matt. A zombie in just enough time to get your whole dick bitten off.
Yeah. And then there's a whole moment where he looks to his friend. He's like, I'm going to have to fucking cut this off and cauterize it. And he's like, I think you're going a little bit too far with this one.
Why is that your limit? You're already down an arm.
It's gone, by the way. You should cauterize it. Fuck. Now it's just a hole.
Before all this happens, fucking Snowmobile gets group knifed.
That might be my favorite death.
Do you think the group knifing
It's a very choreographed, like, pep rally cheerleader. Like, stab, 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 and then, like, they do, like, a ta-da!
Yeah.
And then they pull him into 6 pieces.
Yeah, they do. And then they just, like, one of them is just like, fuck it, they see other alive people, and they just go, fuck these pieces, and they just dump them on the floor.
There's one of these zombies, I don't know which one, I think it's right after this happens, he gets his head cut off, and then it is paylaid into the woods.
Rocket propels, like, OJ out of that wheelchair in the fucking Naked Gun movie.
Yeah, but, like... Then you see a dude just go.
Yeah, he kicks it. Yeah, he does.
Oh my god,
that was good.
Right into the trees.
Set up for a good one there. That fucking guy would be sick at soccer. Yeah, fucking Dreadlocks makes her way back and immediately gets stabbed in the neck by her own boyfriend for her trouble.
Well, you know what? He's got an axe and he's just going ham on a zombie. Maybe
wait a second. To touch somebody in the heat of battle from behind.
Yeah, he's obviously busy. He's gonna be stoked that you're still alive. let them finish.
Every single other time that somebody has tried to touch them from behind, it's not ended well for anyone.
Well, you don't startle somebody who's operating
There's a
machinery.
dead zombie right there. You
Yeah.
know? Stand up in the back and be like, hey.
Like, if somebody had a gun, I wouldn't be like, what's up? And just slap them on the shoulder. The gun's going to go off.
Also, I don't know if you caught it, but when Glass is about to cut his arm off and he's like freaking out about being bitten, that's when Roy goes, aren't you half Jewish? Do you really think they want to recruit you?
They have a whole thing about, like, is he going to be safe if he's Jewish? Like, is that the loophole?
Oh, fuck's sake.
I loved that little, they had that inner debate. Because I was also kind of thinking, like, it doesn't make you a Nazi when you get bit. It can't be that.
Colonel Herzog shows up, so I wrote down sup fucked face.
Yep. Okay. I'll give you that.
He immediately says arise, and 50 zombies very nearby just wake up from under 6 inches of snow. How did nobody trip over a zombie this whole time?
And like, look, if there's one thing I know about Nazi zombies from playing Call of Duty, is if one yells arise,
you're in trouble.
Like, you shouldn't stick around to see what's coming.
It's worse. It's worse things.
Yeah, it's because that's all you need is that the zombies are, it's time to arise.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was my alarm.
Nothing good is coming.
Nothing good is ever coming from a face like that anyway.
Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, he screams arise and oh boy.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So for some reason, the countryside is littered with these zombies who are just inches under the snow.
Yeah.
So there must be snow here all the time, and nobody goes that way.
Nobody goes anywhere because they come from everywhere.
We don't go up old Nazi mountain. Well, why not? Rotting corpses just feet under the snow.
How about we don't go up Nazi mountain? Why not? I feel like I shouldn't have to explain that.
Oh boy, where do we begin? You see, in 1942, there was a man. Oh, Christ.
Some people thought he was a nice guy. He wasn't.
You get that fun shot of them running up over the hill and tripping over themselves before the wave of Nazis.
Yeah. Once again, intestinal mistake. Roy, apparently this fucking colonel is just a fucking cheetah. Because he comes up from the side while they have a decent head start and just trucks him in the head with a hammer.
He probably shouldn't have left his hammer.
That's true. And then he walks into a branch and then rips his own intestines out.
Okay. See, I figured he got up and the Colonel Lufhausen Schaffenhauser.
It's Herzog. Okay? As in the documentary filmmaker, Werner Herzog, who's hilarious.
Colonel Teeth is like, hey.
Colonel Allteeth.
He just takes his guts and wraps it around a tree. So he's like, I'm tethered when he wakes up.
You see him stumbling and then he stops for a sec and then he keeps going. So I figure he just impaled himself.
How sharp are these Norway trees?
They're fucking sharp as fuck as hell.
I think they got a baby-proof Norway.
They're pricker trees. Just that's why.
Put rubber caps on every single branch.
The friggin' sticky foam just everywhere. Fucking... he dies right then. Glasses gets back to the burnt down cabin and rifles through the ashes of a burnt down wooden cabin for the completely somehow intact wooden box. Because he learned after Roy died that they just want their treasure back, which they speak words. The nice thing to do would be the zombies to just be like, hey, our treasure, please. Mm-hmm. Instead of being dicks all movie. Yeah,
like when they were showing up being like, I don't think anybody even knows this is here. Like when they were rifling through it and they were like, it's probably been here for 50 to 100 years. Yeah. Like then they could have been like, hey, actually, guys.
We like that back.
We put that. Is that where that's been this whole time?
Silly us.
We will have that, and we will go to our cave.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll just lay back down under the snow now.
It's nice that you guys are enjoying the cabin. Mm-hmm. We're gonna be sleeping. If you don't mind, just keep it down during the night, which is all the time.
On Yelp,
yeah,
if you don't mind.
Thanks for just renting this Airbnb. Put all the sheets into the washing machine when you're done.
What sheets? What washing machine?
Just
Put
nature.
the sheets in the snow.
The cleaners will be there eventually.
Yeah.
But no, the zombies. Yeah, they just wanted their gold, and I guess he put that together because after
Roy dies, they all congregate around his body, and there's a coin in the snow, and he picks it up, and they all just admire it. So he's like, "Oh, okay, they just want their money." Don't steal from Nazis because they don't have the best judgment anyway.
Well, where did the Nazis get this from, right? No, it's just not good. It's not good to have that stuff. But yeah, so he gets this wicked fireproof wooden box, and it was really smart of the Nazis to put it in that 1940s smart safe that all homes should have to keep your documents safe. And he just is like, "Here's your coins, you stupid bitches."
Yeah, peace. And they just stand there.
And they go, "Yeah, that's it. That's what we came for, actually."
So he goes back to the car, sobs into himself for a second, and then old coin drops out of his pocket, and somehow the colonel is just there. And he goes, "Hey, this glass window, it's not going to stop me."
Hey, I think you got some of mine in there.
Let me get that.
You get a spare change. It's like when you pull up to a corner and the guy's in the median,
aggressive,
and he's like, "Hey."
I hate when they just look in.
Yeah.
When they get real close, because it's like, look, if I had some, it would be in my hand and out the window already.
Yeah.
You don't have to getting closer isn't going to magically make change appear.
The window is up.
Also that.
The window, sir, is up.
Yeah. That's the change drive-through window, okay?
Yeah.
We're closed today.
Treat this like a limousine. I've got the privacy partition up.
That means I don't want to talk.
I'm in my bubble. Yeah.
This town, I don't know what happened to it.
So yeah, I guess we can
roll credits on the fucking Nazi window punch, really.
Yeah, that's it. That's the end of the film right there. Nobody makes it out.
Rating?
Yeah. Let's see, out of 10?
Yeah.
It was a lot better the first time I watched it.
Yes.
Having seen it already in English, I didn't have such a big problem with all the Norwegian that I had to listen to.
Well, when you watch a foreign movie, you kind of have to.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a 7.
Yep.
I laughed.
Mm-hmm. Gore was good.
Gore was good.
Gore was great.
Probably some of the better kills I've ever seen in a horror movie so
creative
far.
For sure.
They played around. It was nice. Got some Evil Dead references in there.
Good sense of humor.
I give it a 7.
Same.
All right.
Hard 7 across the board.
Hard 7.
We didn't do the spoil it in 2 sentences or less.
Oh, well.
I didn't have one for this.
To be honest, self-explanatory is Nazi zombies.
Yeah, Nazi zombies are bad for your health.
Did you play Call of Duty? Mm-hmm. There you go.
This is what it is.
First of all, Nazis are bad. Don't fuck around with their gold.
Yeah.
Second of all, don't fuck around with Nazis.
Don't steal Nazi treasure.
Hey, if a guy's like, there's Nazis on the mountain, you should be counting the time till you're leaving. There. Fucking, they're spoiled.
Beautiful. You killed it.
Look, we forgot. We forgot how to do our podcast. It took us a week to forget.
That's only one thing. We're fine.
All right.
Okay. I have 3 movies here.
Okay.
For your choosing pleasure.
Okay.
First one, foreign zombie horror comedy. All right?
Okay.
So that's just, and now I say foreign. I'm not going to put you through subtitles a second time. In a row. All right? There's going to be more subtitled movies for sure.
That's okay. You can't escape them.
This one, though.
We're going to watch Troll Hunter at some point.
This is just a zombie horror comedy that's also foreign.
I think I know this one.
The consequences of disturbing Nazi leftovers.
Oh.
And medical student road trip.
Damn.
Yep. Made them real vague this time. So it's at tried to.
A nice, neat 3 there. Mm-hmm. That first one is probably Shaun of the Dead.
It is not.
Wow. Mm-hmm. All right. But it's foreign.
That was a damn good guess, though.
I thought the foreign was to throw me off because
the foreign is to throw you off, but not Shaun of the Dead.
But it's okay. I kind of look. I got a soft spot for World War II and all the funky stuff Nazis got up to.
Okay.
Outside of their camps.
The funky stuff.
Like
all those young whippersnappers.
They
were up to no good for 6 whole years.
Yeah, they were up to no good, but they were also like trying to time travel and like do alien stuff.
Oh
so
my god!
I like the funky stuff.
Let me tell you,
that funky bunch.
If you don't know what movie this is, your description of it, you should. Or your description of what you like, anyway.
What's the movie?
You want the consequences of disturbing Nazi leftovers.
I want that.
Frankenstein's Army.
I've never seen it.
Ho ho ho!
I've never seen it.
Oh,
but I think I've heard of it.
Found footage horror movie.
I've never seen this.
A bunch of people exploring a Nazi bunker, and all of the horrifying medical experiments that occurred within.
I'm in.
Yeah, you are.
I'm in.
And I'm gonna make you watch the trailer right after this because you're gonna be even more in than you even know.
Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What were the other two?
For foreign zombie horror comedy, it was Black Sheep.
No.
Yeah.
That would have been a good one.
Fucking. And for a medical student road trip, The Descent, which is where that I swing a weapon around and hit somebody I care about by mistake.
Yeah.
That was totally a callback because The Descent is from 2004.
I'm really surprised you didn't thumb Evil Dead in there.
No.
Too easy, I guess.
Well, yeah. I was trying really hard not to make mention of The Descent, enough as it was.
Well, you did not. That's good. Frankenstein's Army.
Yep.
Jesus.
I would recommend, because it's not very well known, but I would recommend looking up the trailer for it for everyone listening.
Okay. Yeah, no, I thought I had heard of it, but as soon as you said it's found footage, nope.
Yeah.
Never. Okay.
It was really a 50-50. I was like, either he's definitely seen it and knows it, or he's never even heard of it, you know?
Boom.
Yeah. Rad.
All right. Well, that's the podcast.
Grindhouse Movie Club.
Oh, yeah. A spooky movie for you.
Especially if you don't like Nazis.
Oh, and you know what? Unless you're a historian, you're probably an anti-Nazi person, which is great.
Unless you're a historian or a Nazi.
Or you got a nice red hat. Anyway, you want to end the podcast with anything?
Nazis. 2 weeks in a row.